Hey YouTube, hope everybody is doing extremely well. Want to thank you for watching. I wanted to do this video because some people might be surprised on my answer, and the question is that I you know I did it. I put in the money. I bought my World Series ticket. I paid a lot of money for it, and was it worth it? In terms of my experience, this obviously doesn't. There's plenty of people out there who've had different experiences. I actually hope that everyone had a great experience. But reality is, sometimes it doesn't, right? So that's why I thought I'd do that, though. So I do want to let you guys know that where I was sitting was in the bleachers in right field. They're pretty good seats. It was a good seat. I was happy with it. So the World Series is something that I always wanted to go to, and thank you Blue Jays for giving me this opportunity. It's I was too young in the last time, was when 92, 93. I was too young to go to the games. We didn't have the resources as a family, and I understand, like, you know, love my parents and everything they've given us, right? But at the time it wasn't in the cars. And that's okay, right? So this time around, I wanted to do it, and I did it. And we're fortunate. Me and my wife. My wife didn't want to go; she couldn't stomach the cost of the tickets, so I just went myself. And I've got obviously a lot of content on my channel, um, which I appreciate you folks watching. I know some of you, don't like it. Like I said, I'm just a guy with a camera on a phone. Not a professional. If it's not your cup of tea, I understand. I hope you find what you're looking for, and I appreciate you checking out my channel. Um, going to the World Series, super excited. You know, got this cool program as well. The official program was $22 Canadian. It's obviously a lot thicker than the average program. Again, had to kind of do it because you know when am I ever getting another chance, right? And this is just really cool. So yeah, and then also I lined up. Luckily, I actually went in early. The gates opened up 3 hours early before the game, and I ran into the merch line. Believe it or not, it was just right from the start. It was madness. They didn't have any World Series balls. I was disappointed in that. I was hoping to get just a 2025 World Series ball, but they didn't have that. So I did get this hat. It's $55 Canadian. This is all Canadian, obviously. Nice looking hat. Good quality, right? So I thought I'd get that. Yeah, and then I walked around the Sky Dome, or sorry, Rogers Center. It was nice to see. There was one section with Fox and Ortiz, Jeter, and A-Rod. So that was cool. But anyways, getting to the point where during the game, I guess this is where things come into play. So again, paid a lot of money. I was excited. Obviously, World Series. Unfortunately, I sat beside somebody who, you know, honestly, he was extremely difficult to be around. Um, Person, right from the start, he was difficult. Unfortunately, during the game, he kept drinking, and he became much more difficult. Very arrogant, belligerent. When the Dodgers scored, or I think they took the lead even, he'd get up and basically turn around and be extremely rude to everybody. Yell things out to people. Um, and you know, part of me is that's why part of sitting beside this gentleman, and even when you try to reason with him, he would tell you, like, again, I don't want to sound negative against the gentleman. He was extremely difficult to deal with. He most likely obviously has some personal issues himself, and it's unfortunate. Um, Basically, his whole thing, and even he was even saying it. He wants everybody around him, like, to have a horrible time, essentially, right? Even myself, as you folks know, I like to record, and he was doing things to distract me on that. Um, that was very annoying. But and then also with the game itself, obviously the Jays losing. Um, Congratulations to Yamamoto. Well pitched game. I was wrong. Dodger fans. Hey, I'll give you your. I'll tip my hat. Series isn't over. Obviously, it's 1-1, and I know a lot of people who thought four straight Dodgers. So we'll see. But anyways, it wasn't a great game in terms of watching it. Um, even with Shohei, he only had a single. He hasn't had a great series. Uh, Vlad didn't do well. We got the Sabo for it was a nice tip, but also what is interesting is that we've gone to a lot of games, right? So a lot of Blue Jay games, right? And I would say that I guess the experience it would be like going to a regular game, just amplifying the crowd, right? But not obviously I don't mean when the Blue Jays like completely, they completely suck and they're like shitting the bed in like in 24, right? But like in 23, right? I mean they weren't hitting as much, but the pitching was phenomenal. But it was something like that, right? So then when I take a step back and again, you know, taking away the annoying gentleman, you know, I guess the question is, would I do it again? Like, put that amount of money down, right? And it was nice going to the World Series. I can say I've done it now. But I'll be honest with you. Nowadays, with a lot of economic struggle, I talk to a lot of like young people. Even my own family. I try to give them advice, right? Because it's really tough. Like I know other generations crap on them, but it's really hard for these guys right now. Um, and then even folks who are older right now, it's hard to feed a family with inflation happening. We've got political strife with trade. Um, people's jobs are at risk. They can't get raises even when home expenses or anything are going up, right? So I guess when I look at it from a value from that end, I would say I wouldn't do it again, right? Because um, I love baseball. Please don't get me the wrong. I love baseball. I've seen Shohei many times at the Dome. I've seen obviously Vlad a ton of times, and the Jays, right? But I would just say go to a regular game, right? Sure, the crowd won't be as loud, but I don't know. It just felt honestly like a regular game to me, but with a louder crowd, right? And this is just someone who's not speaking with an. I paid the money, and yeah, I got unlucky with sitting with the probably the worst fan in the whole dome. But whatever. Listen, honestly, I'm not even like I kind of feel bad for the guy, frankly. Um, when I look at it, at the time, obviously, I was really annoyed. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wish I kind of dealt with him a bit better, but unfortunately, folks who are extremely unhappy want to see other people unhappy, right? So, I mean, thankfully, I met a lot of people, nice people around as well, and even they felt bad for me. But at the end of it, it was okay. I got to say hello to people, and people were nice about it. But yeah, I mean the question again. All those ticket prices, I think GAs were like 800. I heard some crazy prices going around, folks. If you can afford it, great. But obviously, you know, understand it's probably not going to live up to what you're thinking. And like I said, you might sit beside a jerk, or the Jays might get blown out, or whatever, right? And the Dodgers didn't even play great either, to be quite honest with you, right? With all due respect to Max Muncy and Will Smith, you're not the guys I came to watch to see hit home runs, right? Yoshi, I tip your hat again. Great pitching performance. But anyways, I got to do it. Would I do it again? Probably, most likely not. Um, anyways, I want to thank you folks though who've been watching my channel. Appreciate it. Like I said, I do the best I can. I'm not the tallest guy. I'm not the youngest guy. My health isn't the greatest. I do the best I can. And honestly, this is just a hobby channel for us. I think of it as 1,700 and something of my best friends. So, anyways, I regardless if you hate my stuff or whatever or disagree with me or I wish you well. Um, I hope everybody is healthy and happy. The rest of this series, I hope the Jays do win. I want them to do it for Donnie. Um, but just please, if you're out there and you're considering, with the ticket prices, what the way they are, just really think it through, because you know, real life's more important than baseball. I hate to say it. Oh, and Mr. Vessia, I hope everything works out with you as well. So, anyways, thank you, folks. I appreciate it. Take care of yourself. Thanks for watching.